Hello, I logged on today to see what was going on Warframe and found out Protea Prime got confirmed for May 1st. So I'm going to talk about things you need to know before she releases, because she's really, really good. And she's actually a little too good that she kind of just like cheeses most content, somewhat along the same lanes as like Gauss and Saren. So first off, the most notable thing is her passive, which is after you cast an ability 3 times, you gain 100% ability strength to literally all 4 of your abilities, and this works extremely well because a lot of people subsume off her 4 for literally anything. You can dump stat strength, and you will still be able to go positive if you use her passive. I have Roar on this build because Roar is funny. 124 on Not Rhino is a lot on Not Rhino. Even like max strength Ember kind of doesn't even push this, which is good because Protea, her entire kit is a lot of spammables. Like Blaze Artillery is super good, stackable damage, good heat procs, such like that. Due to heat, how that works, it will armor strip as well naturally with the flame procs. And Steel Path, it literally will delete every enemy in front of you. She's one of the best shield gators in the game due to her, one, having shield generator, which, since they changed how shields work, you could see that even though I'm standing here getting staggered and everything like that, I just keep like shield gating. Probably one of the best ways to do that in the entire game, other than brief respite before it got kind of like nerfed. It didn't get nerfed, but it did get like affected drastically. Roar also obviously affects Blaze Artillery and her slash grenades here, meaning you can easily get some good damage, especially with the whole ability strength thing. Obviously, you have full duration dispensary, which if you're running a duration build, why not? Her 4 is obviously her most subsumable in slot because its temporal is bad, but they did add an augment that made it better, if that is any consolation to anybody out there. Erosion's really good, because it gives Grenade Fan and Blaze Artillery armor strip, and just combining that, you don't need 100% ability strength for their 1 or 2. You only need it on the 4 pop. Dumping a ton of stats into duration here, we get a 7-second Blaze Artillery and a 20-second duration on Temporal Anchor. This cheeses so much content, it's not even funny. Obviously, multi-augmented. Arcane Energize, I just have on here for giggles, honestly. You could even switch on, like, Vitality on here just because of Blaze Artillery. She's extremely, extremely, extremely good, and due to how her passive works, obviously her 1 is her most spammable, and then you just click 4, and it'll start to armor strip so rapidly that I couldn't even, like, properly show. This augment is actually extremely nuts, because other than the obvious stagger from the slash procs and everything like that with the Grenade Fan, Blaze Artillery shoots so fast that it pretty much ends up armor stripping before you really get a chance. Plus, because it's armor stripping, obviously and blatantly, it will be dealing more damage anyway. Meaning you could pretty much lock down an entire area and just AFK. She's probably one of the easiest frames just to turn your brain off with, other than Saren. It is worth it to note, however, if you are looking to do temporal, if you hold in your 4 button, or whatever button you use to just quick cast, if you hold it in, it will not do the Prince of Persia rewind effect. That's what I'm just going to call it. It won't do that. It will just cancel it on the spot. If I'm correct, it doesn't refund, though. Actually, I can just test that out real quick. Yeah, it doesn't refund. So that's a good thing to keep in mind, is if you need it to refund, let it, or just press it so you automatically go. If you don't need to refund and you would like to keep progress, especially in like faster paced missions, just hold it. It will cancel it without rewinding you. Protea is amazing. One of the most probably notorious builds is Gloom. Just running good range here, duration, and strength. We can get a 69% slow. However, because of how her passive works, this becomes 90% pretty easily. With decent range and such, you can pretty much cover entire angles and rooms and such, meaning you're basically unkillable. She's probably the best Gloom user in the cast, as it doesn't really take away from anything, and you can mix and match, obviously, to make this super effective. Regardless of what build you choose, however, she's absolutely dominating on any kind of mission, mainly because her kit doesn't revolve around like one kind of niche. Like Blaze Artillery is a super low duration thing with pretty high damage. You can even see the multiplier here on the base damage as it just eviscerates that guy. However, you can also shield gate relatively easily, pretty much at a single press of a button. I have mine on hold because I use Temporal Erosion more than anything else, meaning I just spam out my little slash procs, but you can obviously change that if you want to focus on a more shield and defense based. Dispensary is the best on her, obviously, as it's good on every frame. Without the duration penalty from Helminth, it makes it absolutely insane. And then such a flexible 4 slot makes her extremely viable. You can throw anything on here. It doesn't even matter if you have to dump strength, because as long as you use 3 abilities, you will get the 100% bonus on strength. Being your minimum can only be like 40%. So 140 strength is still extremely good for anything you're doing. You can dump a range for something like I don't know, like Reeve, I guess. You just dump more range in range duration, or anything of that sort. I've been messing around with Sentient Surge on Mirage, actually, and that's probably another really good idea, because you're going with a little bit of range, but you can easily amplify the damage from Sentient Surge, making it extremely easy. She's extremely, extremely, extremely good, but she is a very boring frame. Hopefully her Prime has some good, like, mix-up, because they're bringing back both of her weapons. Obviously, it's not going to fundamentally change her, but, hey, if you haven't been able to get Protea because, God forbid, you want to farm the Grandum Void, here you go. That's going to be the easiest way to do it, hands down, as even when I bought my second Protea for Dispensary, I wasn't doing Grandum Void more than once for her, and even then it took me hours. So, easiest way to get it, just get her Prime, you know, like Goss and Hildren, just get their Primes. It's so much faster, so much easier, and so much less of a headache.